Currently, it is mega hot here in London. It is super hot. Today's like, I don't know, 30 degrees or something like that. Really, really humid and sticky. And apparently America is going to get a massive heat wave today. Like it's on its way if it's not there already. And it just makes me think, because the heat here, I find when it gets above like 30 degrees, it's almost unbearable. But is it worse in America? Because a lot of Americans will say to me, 30 degrees Celsius is only like 90 or 95 degrees Fahrenheit or something like that, which apparently isn't that bad. But can it really? Because when I was in Texas last year, it was in the 30s. But everywhere had AC, so it was a lot more bearable. All the cars had air conditioning, all the buildings had air conditioning, whereas here, even the restaurants, pubs, bars will not have air conditioning. So you're just going to be sat there sweating as you're like eating your food. By the way, guys, I've finally started memberships. Lots of exclusive content on there. If you're interested, hit the join button below.
Big heat dome that will develop, strengthen, and grow in size over much of the plains and Midwest for an extended period. And this does include Independence Day weekend. And it will expand into parts of the East Coast and it'll linger a little bit longer for us East Coast.
Oh, yeah, because 4th of July is this weekend.
Here's what it looks like, though. It's just this high pressure heat ridge bringing record-breaking heat. This is not just a couple of degrees above average. This is potentially some of the warmest temperatures ever recorded for certain dates across the certain cities. So heat alerts through Saturday. We have an extreme heat warning from Minneapolis down through Kansas City. World Cup games being played in Kansas City in the next few days. So if you are a fan or a player who could be listening, make sure you hydrate as much as possible. Take frequent breaks in the shade. It's an outdoor stadium. This heat going to be very, very just...
Dude, playing a football game 90 minutes in this heat, unbearable.
Cumbersome just as a whole. Then you have extreme heat watches that include Nashville, northern Mississippi, and even parts of the Jersey Shore and into Philadelphia. New York City not quite under that extreme heat watch, but it's coming. Don't worry, those heat alerts will expand off towards the east. If you're under red, you're wondering what it is. It means dangerous heat possible in the next few days. Heat advisory, dangerous heat ongoing or expected within the next 12 hours. And if you are under an extreme heat warning, like Kansas City, like Minneapolis, extremely dangerous heat is occurring as we speak. So temperatures are pushing already this morning into the upper 80s, 90s in some cases. That temperature with the heat index on top.
Oh my God, 95. What is 95? Hang on a minute, guys. So 95 F in C. So it's 35. Ooh.
Of it, Omaha feeling more like 93. Now for Sioux Falls, Minneapolis, La Crosse, you're probably thinking, why are we under an extreme heat alert? It's 68 degrees. Well, the heat is going to be building throughout the day today. You have some thunderstorms that are rolling through, helping to create that rain-cooled air. Behind it, though, you'll still see this big surge of moisture. Another thing that you have to deal with in the Midwest, corn sweat. I love to talk about it.
Corn sweat? What's corn sweat?
My family, they throw big parties in my uncle's cornfield. So if you do party in a cornfield for the 4th of July, this is something you have to deal with. What happens is you are irrigating and you're putting a lot of water on your corn crops, and that moisture is then eventually released back into the atmosphere through evapotranspiration. So you have transpiration from the leaves, and
so it makes it more humid in that area?
And then that water that's sitting, the dew on the leaves, then gets pumped into the atmosphere. One stalk of corn can produce 3 to as much as 4 gallons worth of water and release it into the atmosphere per day. Now, it has to be the perfect conditions for that, but imagine hundreds of thousands of corn stalk in certain parts of Nebraska and into Iowa. That can really bump up the humidity, and those dew points are going to be quite cumbersome, pushing 70s to 80s. That can
so it makes it super sticky. Oh my God.
The year was 1913. The place, Death Valley. And this was not the beginning of a vampire novel. Hello, I'm Lawrence, and I'm on a quest to uncover all of the memos that Britain and America lost in the pond. And one of those memos pertains to heat waves. Both countries have experienced their fair share of them over the centuries. As someone who orbited the sun 26 times while living in Britain, I vaguely recall some of my homelands. I say vaguely because the thing about heat waves is that they don't linger in the memory like a blizzard or a hurricane. They don't yield shaky YouTube videos or Michael Bay set pieces. They're just a period of perspirational misery.
I mean, these days, though, I am remembering the heat waves here because they're getting so hot now compared to when I was a kid.
In 2006, Britain experienced its hottest ever July, with the thermometer soaring to what I thought was a quite ridiculous 99 degrees Fahrenheit. One night, my wife and I camped out in my brother's living room in London. What happened next was a lesson in why you should never sleep on a blow-up mattress atop a flat in 99-degree heat in a country where AC is fiction. Rumour has it that our sweat still haunts the ceiling. But what is a heat wave? A heat wave is not just a case of hot weather. If it was, the southern US would be embroiled in perpetual summer heat wave, with temps often reaching what on earth degrees Fahrenheit. No, a heat wave is a period of heat relative to the usual temperature of a place or season. So when measurements exceed 100 degrees Fahrenheit in Britain, as they did in Cambridge last year, it's definitely a heat wave. And I know that because this has only happened twice in the nation's history. In parts of the US, it's an annual tradition and will only become more frequent this century. Even while living toward the Great Lakes, I've encountered the dreaded 3 digits more than once. Between this and America's extreme winters, there's a reason I miss British weather.
But then again, when it gets to like 100 degrees, like any North Americans watching this, you're not outside for very long, are you? You're going to be spending almost all of your time indoors, right? But then again, people that work outside, yeah, carpenters, builders.
After all, British heat waves ain't got nothing on America. If you don't believe me, let's take a look at a selection of America's greatest heats. While not the hottest, this heat wave is notable for its persistence. In July and August of 1896, it impacted several populous cities such as New York, Boston, and Chicago over a period of 10 days. That's 24 hours longer than Michelle Phillips was married to Dennis Hopper. During those 10 days, the temperatures in those cities remained above 90 degrees Fahrenheit, even at night. Worse still, the humidity was about 90%, and this was in the days before aircon and Ben & Jerry's Chunky Monkey. Before entering into a bet with William Howard Taft over who could rock the best presidential facial hair, Teddy Roosevelt was New York City Police Commissioner. During the heat wave, he dished out ice creams to residents, which leads me to think he might have missed his true calling in life. To my mind, the world was truly robbed of mustachio-flavoured ice cream.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, because there were no fans even back then. Like, there were no ceiling fans, table fans, AC. So what did they have to stay cool? Like literally a hand fan. Oh my God.
Just as 2020 feels like a runaway train that's devoured 12 bottles of Dennis Hopper, 1936 felt the same way, but in black and white. America was in the throes of its worst ever depression. The Dust Bowl continued to engulf the Great Plains, and the nation endured one of its worst heat waves in modern history. The year's one bright spark was when Olympian Jesse Owens stormed to 4 gold medals in front of German Chancellor and ardent snowflake Adolf Hitler. But even as that was happening, temperatures in multiple states had exceeded 100 degrees for more than 10 consecutive days. State records had to be rewritten. To this day, 13 states have yet to best the records they set in the summer of 1936. This includes North Dakota, where temperatures soared to a high of 121 degrees.
121 degrees? Hang on, what's that in Fahrenheit? Hang on. 100, did he say 120? Oh my God, 48. Nah.
Wide, more than 5,000 Americans died due to the heat. Crop devastation was widespread, and it just happened to follow one of the coldest winters in US history. To this day, 2 states have yet to best the records they set in February 1936. This includes North Dakota, where temperatures plummeted to minus 60 degrees. 1936, kicking North Dakota's ass since 1936.
Dude, I cannot believe that. 10 days of 100-degree heat. Oh my God, I'd go mad. I think I'd actually lose it. I'd lose the plot.
In the early 50s, Gene Kelly was singing In the Rain. This would have been a huge kick in the teeth to people in the central United States because a persistent and record-setting heatwave was wreaking havoc there. Some areas experienced worse drought than during the Dust Bowl. In 1954, the year of Dennis Hopper's first television appearance, 11 states endured 22 days of 100-plus weather, and the Super Soaker 50 was still the stuff of a madman's dreams. In July of that year, my current state of Illinois recorded its its highest ever temperature, with the thermometer reaching 117 degrees in East St. Louis. Rumour has it that microbes are still hiding under Eads Bridge to this day.
Oh, man. Okay, it definitely seems that America gets higher, like hotter days for sure. Like the hottest day I've experienced in the UK was 38 or 39 degrees Celsius, which I think is about 100 or 102, something like that.
This is not an actual heat wave. Right? This is a Motown hit by Martha and the Vandellas. Yeah, it's a great song, but we don't have the rights to it. Can we skip to 88? In America, 1988 is remembered less for its heat wave and more for the droughts it exacerbated. It's also remembered by me for an unusual lack of Dennis Hopper films and the line, "Senator, you're no Jack Nicholson." I think I dreamt that one. But the weather that year was no laughing matter. Weather stations recorded an unprecedented number of days between precipitation in many parts of the Midwest. In the spring, Milwaukee endured 55 days without rain or snow, a phenomenal feat for anyone who's been to Milwaukee. At its worst, the drought covered almost half the nation. Forest fires ran rampant, most notably at Yellowstone National Park.
So does Milwaukee get tons of rain and snow then? Like, is it constantly cold?
Which suffered the largest in its history. The event led to one of the worst dust migrations since the 30s, and schools were forced to close in Dakota of the southern variety. Now, this is all terrible, you're probably thinking, but aren't droughts and heat waves two different things? Well, yeah, it's just that this particular drought happened to coincide with one of the most stunning heat waves since 1936. It's estimated that between 4,000 and 17,000 Americans died as a result.
What?
Adjusted for inflation, it's the third costliest natural disaster in US history behind Hurricanes Katrina and Harvey.
Oh my God. What was the financial cost of it? Like, it sounds like it was in the tens of billions. Like, that's crazy. Heat did that.
In many ways, I've lived two lives, one in Britain and one in America, and a third one in an alternate universe.
I need to do this for myself. I wonder what I would look like as a woman. This is crazy.
It's where I have marginally better teeth and go by the name of Emma, but we don't talk about that. The 2016 Southwest heatwave is the only one included on this list to have occurred during my second life as a US resident. The good thing was, it was 2,000 miles away. During the month of June, temperatures in the states of California, Arizona, and Nevada looked more like supercentenarian statistics. You had numbers like 110, my age in Time Lord years, all the way up to 125.
God.
That measurement was taken in Needles, California, a place that has literally never been hotter. Of course, California knows a thing or two about heat waves. Not only is the state frequently riddled with droughts and wildfires, it's also home to the hottest recorded temperature the world has ever known.
Really?
The year was 1913, the place Death Valley, and this was not the beginning of a vampire novel. On July 10th of that year, the temperature maxed out at 134 degrees. It happened before. It will happen again. Just please not in 2020.
What's that in Celsius? Sorry, guys, because we use Celsius here. 134. Oh my God. 56. That's like sauna. That's like a sauna level heat.
That's it for this episode. I hope you're enjoying the warm weather while remaining.
Oh my God, 56 degrees. Do you know what? I think it's fair to say that America and North America probably get higher temperatures. But I think because you've had higher temperatures for longer, you've adapted. Your infrastructure has adapted to compensate for the heat and to make it bearable for humans. Like, you've got air conditioner everywhere. Like, your houses are made of wood. So, they're more breathable. They don't hold in the air, the heat as much as our homes do. Our walls here, just concrete brick walls that are just built to keep the heat in because, traditionally, the UK is a colder climate than North America, but not anymore. It feels like it's just getting hotter and hotter. Like, it's been hot here since May. We've had like heat waves since May, and probably will have heat waves till October. Like, I remember last year it was still warm in October. So it's getting hotter. It's definitely getting hotter. And any Americans this week, stay safe because, yeah, it's going to get really, really hot. Thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. And if you did, check out this video right here and hit the join button below. See you there.